From the beginning, I knew that if I was going to spend a lot of time on this project, it had to be something that was going to benefit the students in my classroom. So I took the time to observe my students, and it became clear where my direction was going. When it came to a challenge or something new, they'd sit and stare at the page. They wouldn't even try to do the work. I needed to work on their self-efficacy. The more research I did, the more I realized that there's not a lot of information out there regarding social-emotional learning in junior high students. So I started my journey to find out what was unique about junior hires. It didn't take much research to realize it was the onset of puberty. They're thrown off balance as the new hormones rage through their body. We are all too familiar with the physical changes that happen to somebody's body during puberty, but when you look at how the brain physically changes during puberty, it changes everything the students know. Their normal is no longer normal. There is no longer a comfort zone. According to Yeager, in social and emotional learning programs for adolescents, both males and females have an increased level of testosterone at this age. What we know is that testosterone is a status-relevant hormone. Socially, their focus changes from making friends and having fun to what status they have in those relationships. Their life is no longer what it was in elementary school. With the new insight that I now had about my students, it was time to dive into self-efficacy. Bandura defines self-efficacy as people's beliefs about their capabilities to produce designated levels of performance that exercise influence over the events that affect their lives. He goes on to tell us that there are 4 factors that influence one's self-efficacy: mastery experiences, experiences from social models, social persuasion, and emotional and psychological states. Social persuasion piqued my interest. If hearing other people tell you you're capable can change your outlook on the situation, can telling yourself that you're capable have the same outcome? And that line of thought took me to my research question. How does teaching middle school students positive self-talk affect their self-efficacy? After gaining approval from my principal, the institutional review board, the parents of my students, and my students themselves, it was time to start my project. The students were given Gilad Chen's new general self-efficacy scale as a pretest to see where they stood. 2 weeks of lessons followed. Students were taught to recognize when negative self-talk was going on in their head and how to replace them with positive self-talk. This was modeled by the teacher, and they were given a chance to role-play through situations with their classmates. They were then challenged to use it in other areas of their lives. After 2 weeks, they returned to the new general self-efficacy scale to see if there was any change. They were also given a quick 3-question reflection where they were free to write whatever was going through their head on the subject. The results were even better than I would have expected. If you can see here, the blue was the pre-survey and the red was the post-survey. There was definitely an increase in their self-efficacy. I noticed 2 themes in the reflections they wrote after the project. First, students very much connected positive self-talk with emotional regulation. However, they didn't make the connection that this actually gives them more confidence to tackle new tasks. While I definitely found some positive results, there's still a lot of work that could be done. A study spanning over a longer amount of time would give more accurate results, and using more students in a broader band of students would give us a better idea if this is consistent across the board.